Okay, I think we're on. This is socially awkward with Evan Wecksell. This is the first time I've been doing this in a while, but luckily it's Wrestlemania season, so I got myself off the floor to do this stuff again, and I'm gonna bring on a Facebook friend. So hold on one second. Let me make sure I do this right. He is here now. See, that's not equitable. Now it's equitable. Good. So I'm gonna welcome Josh Goldstein, aka J Gold, aka fellow Great Necker, Great Neck, Long Island. And,
that's right.
That's right. This is good.
And in honor of you and I hanging out tonight, I had a Gino's pie and buffalo chicken wrap, which I didn't find to be great, but the pizza's still good.
You can drop the leftovers at my dad's house. That's fine. I'll give you the address. So then, are you still in Great Neck, or you're visiting family?
No, I'm in Port Washington. That's right.
Oh, okay. Now. Oh, did you? But you went to Great Neck Gino's, or there's like Manhasset Gino's?
No, the Port Washington Gino's. That's the guy who used to work at Gino's in Great Neck. Opened up the one in Port, so it's been here for like 30 years or something. Yeah.
Oh wow, this is a big deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to share this thing with you first. Have you seen the action figures of this stuff?
Oh, I
yet?
did.
Yeah.
Oh, I made my own already.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, let me see if I can shift it where there's all of us. Oh, I can't get us all in. No, I didn't add it, but I shared that. I'm gonna stop sharing that. Yeah, I it's been great. I tried to do my own, but it hasn't gone that well.
I've done like my own right there.
There it is. Okay, I'll share you.
Looking. Yeah.
It's absurd. No, mine's even worse here. I'm going to show you. Let me share with you because Facebook, I can share Facebook. It's a Facebook friend podcast. So let me get share this. I was just like writing weird stuff.
Oh, I did see this. I did see this today on your Facebook. Yes.
Right. Well, initially I was like,
yeah.
Initially I just wanted, just have me. I wanted like a cane, a hammock. I like bugs. I like sewing, which is all not true. So that I'm like, okay, let's change.
But your face looks the best out of anyone's I've seen. Mine looks ridiculous. I look like it doesn't even look like me.
Right. This one, the needle's supposed to be Botox, so I wanted Botox, a barbed wire fence, and some hanging flowing dresses. and then I said, replace the blue dress with a light green dress. And what they did is they put me in a green dress. So.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that one either. I like
nothing wrong. We're all acceptable. We're all acceptable and tolerant these days.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're older than me. You're my wife's year.
Yes.
And Kelly says you guys were not friends in high school though.
I mean, we knew everybody. Like we were all acquaintances, and my friend Jomo and her were friends, and we all did our thing. Like we either crossed paths or we didn't. Some days it was all good.
And yeah, because like I think you have a twin brother, Sam.
Yep.
So she said is good friends with Stephanie.
Yes.
So Stephanie, I think like Stephanie is a good friend of hers. I think that's the circle of life right there.
Yes, always swings back to Great Neck and who do you know and everything else.
I mean, yeah, with you was probably just like same as her. I walked by her in high school, but I never spoke to her, and I walked by you in high school. I never spoke to you. Just world before social media.
Probably better back then. I liked it much better back then.
All the things of us all hanging out. There's no one recording it or like posting it. And
most of the time it was me at Squire seeing a movie on Friday nights and then going home. That was it.
Right. And that's probably one of the biggest gut punches I think of COVID is that Squire I guess is still not reopened or has
gone. And both theaters in Port are gone and everything is gone. Yep. So I have to drive to Glen Cove to go to the movies. As a matter of fact, I'm going tonight to see that movie, The Amateur, with Rami Malek.
She saw that. She saw that with my kid last night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It should be a good one. Yeah, I mean, I've had that storyline. I've seen a few of those, but yeah, this one.
I love a good CIA low consequence. Nothing's gonna happen to the hero type stuff where you just leave. You're like, that was cool. All right, blow it up. That was it.
Yeah. There'll be consequences for the people in the movie. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nice. And I guess the thing that drew us together is Now, what's your wrestling backstory? Like, how did you start following it when you were a kid?
So yeah, so I grew up in Queens in the 80s, and then my dad took us to WrestleMania 1 and 2, and I went to 10 and 20 and 29. So
wait, so you were live at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah,
And then Nassau
1985 was,
Coliseum.
yep, 1985, I was 7, and went home, and we came home from school one day. My mother goes, your dad's taking you tonight. You have to take a shower. And we're like, oh, we don't shower. And I was 7. We're like, we don't shower. And my mom's like, no, your dad's taking you to some wrestling thing. And we're like, all right. And we went to WrestleMania. And
Wow.
I mean, my brother and I had posters of the Road Warriors and the Steiner brothers on the wall when other kids had, other baseball players, whatever. We had wrestlers. We had Nick Bockwinkel,
right?
All those guys, Larry Zbyszko, they were all on the wall in the house when I was a kid. So
do you remember much of that WrestleMania? Like when you were there, like what do you remember? Like what?
No, I don't remember. I mean, we were all the way up, and the same thing with the WrestleMania 2. We were at the Nassau Coliseum for that.
Right.
But my brain is mashed potatoes at this point. It's been so long that I mean, I don't even. I remember being at that one. I remember going into the building, into the old garden.
Right.
And it was the middle of the day because we had to get there at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and my dad drove us in. And then I remember getting into the Nassau Coliseum. We also watched on closed circuit TV one year, so I remember that. And then it's like, I remember going to WrestleMania 20, and my buddy and I left before the main event when Benoit won and everybody's hugging. We're like, let's make the train home. So
how was it with like Undertaker? That was my favorite match. How was it Undertaker coming back?
Well, that was 20. Was that?
That was 20. I think Casey came back to fight Kane with Paul Bearer.
Oh yes, yeah. It was fine. I mean, the thing that ruined the whole night was the Goldberg Brock match.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
I was so uncomfortable. I was like, this is all over. Like everybody hates this, and they're crapping all over it. And it was just, you were just sitting there. You're just like, oh my, I'm not that kind of fan. I don't boo or cheer. I just enjoy myself. Right. And I'm like, oh, this is so uncomfortable, in the whole place. So. Those are the little memories. I went to 29 when it was at MetLife, and I sat in the last row of the stadium behind the stage, and it was so cold that we needed to buy an $80 blanket. And the only thing that kept us warm was the Undertaker's pyro that went off behind the stage. So we were just like holding it there, but you couldn't see anything. There were pillars. I decided from that moment on, I was never going to another outdoor show. So I have never gone to another one, but and then I started doing the indies for a long time. And then as of like 2018, my brother and I went out to Ohio, and we started hanging out with the guys at AIW out there. Okay. And we were just in a bar after the show, and we're like, let's talk to these guys. And we became friendly, and we threw this party in Hoboken for everybody when I lived in Hoboken. And they all came out on WrestleMania weekend, 2019, when it was the Collective. So we went to all these shows, and we had all these wrestlers at this bar in Hoboken. Yeah. And it just got us like all this, like, people just knew us, like, we're coming to your party, whatever. So we met all these people in the Ohio scene, and then we kept going. So we start going and going. And then some people asked us to do podcasts, and I was doing podcasts, and then we started going to other shows that our friends from Ohio were on. So we started, and then, when I had my daughter, I was like, okay, she's going to go to shows. So now she goes to all the shows with me. So like everything kind of, and we go to indie shows mainly. We try to get to the WWE shows, but
I see you guys. That's really cool. Like now, what was AIW? Was that a promotion in Long Island?
No, AIW is a Cleveland-based promotion. It's like the third biggest indie in the country. Like it is, it's like right up there it's right under GCW. AIW's been around since like the early 2000s, like Cleveland All Pro. And so they have a lot of those guys have come through. Kevin Owens wears a lot of AIW stuff. One of the old owners, he passed away. This guy, Chandler Biggins, he was like the nicest dude on the planet. And Owens, every time he's in Ohio, he wears the Chandler Biggins t-shirt. Yeah. There was like a whole segment when they were there a couple years ago where he announced, it was like the month he died. He had some kind of surgery, and then it got infected and he died. But we became friends with the other owner, John Thorne, and we just keep going out there. Yeah. And we've sponsored some shows. We helped them produce one of their shows during COVID, which was called Go for Broke. Right. So we got our little logo at the end of the show, and it says "Produced Mysterious Benefactors." My brother and I, we went by this gimmick. So we just love like the indies. We love being a part of it. I love the business side of it. The wrestling, I've seen so much wrestling that what does it matter at this point? Right? It's all the same. Yeah. But the people is the most fascinating part of wrestling at this point. If you know, when you hear about, I have friends out here who are part of a company called ETU. They own ETU, and they're the struggles is the owner, and Ryan's more than happy. I'll ask him any question. How much does this guy cost? How do you guys handle this? What's the ring setup like? And they're so open, that we learn. Now I finally know all about like the insides of that, and I'm like, that's the best. Like now that I know all that.
Is there much on Long Island? Like I know like Kurt Hawkins has his
Create a Pro. So they have a show on May 31st. Harper and I love that. My daughter and I, we love Create a Pro because it's local. It's in Lynbrook. They do it in Melville. They have a free show at their Hicksville school. It's like a warehouse, and you can just go in there and but that's I don't know how much you've heard or back in like New York's impossible to run shows. So because you have to have regulation, they have to have a doctor. They regulate it like MMA and like boxing, and it's not real. So you gotta have a doctor. Do that in
independent show. It's hard to do
because it's $1,400 for a doctor. It's 14, and then it's another $1,000 for the ambulance outside, and you got to have the nurse and so, like I get it. Create a Pro can afford it. Kurt Hawkins is very he's famous, he's popular, he's made a lot of money in his career, and the tickets are pretty high priced. But a lot of guys run in Jersey because of it. So you'll see some stuff on my socials. It's they call it the Mecca. It's the Phil Sheridan building. It's like a VFW in Ridgefield Park.
Yeah.
They have a very easy, you can do anything you want in Jersey. Wrestling isn't regulated. So if the building tells you no light tubes, then no light tubes. But most of the time you can do whatever you want. So you don't need a nurse. You don't, it's all just open.
And these are like state regulations, basically. All New York State would be like this?
Yes. Wow, you can't run shows. Most of these guys, like Colin Delaney was on our show. He was in ECW back in the 2000s, WWE ECW. And he talks about, he runs a school and he runs a business up in Rochester. It's him and like Brody King and a bunch of those guys from up there, Puff and like Daniel Garcia, all these guys from up there ran this. I think they run this school now. But they talk about it the same way. It's really hard. You can't, unless you're going to charge $75 a ticket, you're not paying, and the buildings are super expensive. So, the insurance, it's not, it shouldn't be regulated. I know that when Cuomo was in office, they talked about deregulating wrestling because it's not real. Why are we regulating it like that? Right. So, but we go to Jersey for everything. You can go during COVID. We went to Atlantic City when Atlantic City was closed, and they ran and No Holds Barred, which is ICW. No holds barred, and it's just chain ropes. So we went there for like death matches in the middle of June and during COVID, and everybody was sitting in the parking lot. And Nick Gage is there busting light tubes on people's heads. It's flying, you got the dust flying around. Jersey's great for it, and there's not as much. I love being able to expose my daughter to it, but we have to drive for it. Like we'll always drive for it.
I don't know what it's like in California. I mean, I went to like an old what was it called on their VFW,
the Ukrainian
PWG.
Oh, in Reseda,
when PWG was at Reseda. I don't think they're at Reseda for years because I think they upgraded, but it felt like you could do anything there. They just they just crammed everyone in, and I just went to one. It was like they're like right in front of you. And
the problem with PWG is you go to the shows and you're like, oh, I can't wait to watch it, and it takes them 6 to 10 months to put out a DVD of the show. So anybody who wasn't there and they don't stream, they don't. So you were living off tape trading of PWG for lots of years because nobody could watch it. That's on them. I mean, the Bucks and Super Dragon and all those guys. So
right. Yeah, I mean, I probably haven't seen an indie show since before COVID. It was like Joey Ryan. I saw Luchasaurus. I saw Jungle Boy like before AEW. And
Joey Ryan, poor Joey Ryan,
Ryan.
gone, and never be heard from again.
And Jake Atlas, but
does Beckett still like wrestling? Do you guys still do the whole thing?
He's into it, but he's playing Fortnite all the time, so I can't get him to. And sometimes I'll get him to watch stuff, but it takes effort. I mean, he'll enjoy it if he's watching it. But I mean,
I knew I hit it when my daughter. She'll sit here and she has to go to bed by like 8:30. She's 9, but we try to we keep her regulated. And then so like Monday nights I'll be watching it, and she'll be like, I never get to watch it live. And then she'll like run upstairs and you hear her like clomping, and I'm like, I got her. She loves it. Nice. I got her. So she watches it on the replay. I DVR SmackDown every Friday night. She watches NXT with me. But that's how we've just kept it going, because as you can see, like everything I have down here in this room is just wrestling. It's all indie stuff and like some of the collectibles, but I try to push it on her as much as I can.
when when they were in Europe, I'm sure she could watch it earlier because Netflix Raw, like you're watching like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, right after school.
Yeah,
and we haven't had that feeling in a long time where you run home from school and want to watch something, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
That's great. And then there's only WWE. Are you watching AEW?
Everything.
Or are you TNA?
Well, because of all the different podcasts I do right now. We do. So the Indie Wrestling Guide is on Thursdays, and we watch all indie wrestling. So we got to be up to date. We interview a lot of wrestlers, and then we started a new show on YouTube called NXT Night Shift, and we do it right after NXT at 10:15 on Tuesday nights. And,
so it's a recap show.
It's a recap show. It's like a live. You have a call in, so you can. We'll let you on, and you can join us, and like we could just shoot the shit. Like it's kind of real off the cuff, like really like carnival like. It's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love it. I Mondays and Tuesdays. Why not? I got nothing to do. Monday nights we record at 9, and Tuesdays we're live at 10:15. So I'm awake. You know. Yeah.
Are you going to a show tonight? You said you were going to be going out later, or no?
No, tonight's the movies.
Because you gotta go amateur. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll be the next show is in May is 2 shows. There's ETU running and then Creative Pro. So we'll have those in May. And then also AIW's got their 20th anniversary. My brother and I are trying to figure out how to get to Cleveland for a day. We normally drive and come back.
I have driven. I did a show where I drove I left Long Island. I made it to Cleveland that evening for a gig. So.
We do it. We did it in November. We try to go 3 or 4 times a year at this point. We're getting a little bit older, so the ride's a little long. But this year we were in November. We did it on Black Friday. We always go. They do a big Black Friday show, and we got hit with that lake effect snow. And so we got there at like 11:30 in the morning. We left around 4. We got there at 11:30. We turned around at 10 o'clock at night and drove back to Long Island because we didn't want to get stuck in 4 feet of lake effect snow. So we just turned around and made it back. It is what it is. I just do it. I don't let my brother drive.
Do you have? Oh, is your brother as into it as you, or does he?
Yeah, he comes along. He's always been into it. He's just not as boisterous and like my brother's a lot more reserved than I am. So when it comes to that, I will be out there 100%, but he's like, he's the fan in the background still.
But he can't he wouldn't swap in for you and they wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Like he could tell like if he had to host your podcast.
Oh, no, he would. Sure he would. He would. He's been on a bunch of different ones.
But could he fool people that like if you couldn't host one night that Sam took over, like they could tell like, this is Sam, this is not.
No, they know right away. The humor, the inclination, the tone, it's completely different.
Do you guys kind of assign yourselves to which Uso brother you are?
We're the Steiners, okay? We'll always be the Steiners.
Okay.
I am Rick. I'm the dog-faced gremlin, and he's Scott Steiner always. That's always the way it was. Hawk and Animal, that's what we did.
And is your daughter then Braun Breaker?
She likes him very much, but her girl is Bianca Belair. She likes Billy Stark. She likes Bianca Belair. She likes Liv Morgan. And then she likes Jocelyn Navarro, who's an indie wrestler. She loves Jocelyn. Jocelyn's cool as hell. And and then Josh Bishop is another guy who she loves and who are always nice to her when she sees them. So that they made fans for life from her. When we went to her and I took a ride to Akron, and they just loaded her up with merch. And you never see a wrestler ever part with merch for free.
Right.
They just gave her shirts and stickers and I'm like, oh my God, like you guys are giving it, and it was great. So yeah, she's got her favorites, but she'll definitely sit and watch. That's why we're coming home from our trip next week going to Florida. We'll be home Friday, so Saturday and Sunday we could catch WrestleMania. Do
you have like favorite wrestling encounters you've had as a fan or an interviewer? Like I couldn't believe like this is the most important wrestler I've ever spoken to, or
I mean so on Indie Wrestling Guy we get all these indie guys and it's great to have them. We have Colin Delaney who is in WWE. We had the voice of the Cleveland Browns, Nathan Zagura. He's the play-by-play guy for AIW.
He's ringside a bunch, and he knows the Miz.
He came on our show because he listens, and that was amazing that he came on. I went to a signing with Swoggle, and he's really good friends with John Thorne from AIW, and he was very good to Harper. And I was like, he goes, oh, I know you. He goes, you're the brothers. I'm like, oh yeah, like him. Colt Cabana was very cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's great. I love Colt.
I got Colt to do a bit with me in Chicago one time.
He's the best. Colt is the best. We read his book at Harper's reading day, and then I sent him an email to let him know that kids are into it, and they're still. He was very nice about it. But in general, I've told this story a million times, but this is I'll give you the abbreviated version. So I've hung out with Bill Alfonso with Fonzie in Cleveland, and Fonzie, he was coming in for the GCW show in 2022 at the Hammerstein. That was their first big show. So I said to him in Ohio, I'm like, Fonzie, when you come in, I'm like, give me a call. We'll take you out for lunch or whatever. He's like, okay, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I gave him my number. He gave me his. I'm like, oh my God, I have Bill Alfonso's phone number, right?
Yeah.
So I'm on the elliptical one night and I see the phone ring and it says Bill Alfonso on my phone. And I'm like, oh my God. And I go, hello? And he goes, Josh, Daddy, it's Fonzie. And I'm like, yep. I'm 16-year-old me couldn't handle it, but I'm trying. He's like, hey, my flight gets in at 9:00. So when you pick me up, blah, blah, I'm like, shit. I go, hold on a minute, Fonzie. I put the phone on pause. I run upstairs to my wife and I'm like, Steph, Bill Alfonso's on the phone. Can I go out for lunch with Bill Alfonso on Sunday? I got to pick him up from the airport. She's like, I don't know who that is, but yeah, okay. So I call Sam and I'm like, Sam, I'm going to get Fonzie. And he has a connection in the city at like one bar. He's like, all right, we'll meet in the city. Right. Yeah, so I'm like, great. So I pick up Fonzie at the airport. Unbelievable. He gives me a hug like he's my grandpa. We drive to Flushing and he goes, Josh, he goes, listen, I got to drop something off at Sabu's hotel room. He's in Flushing. He's like, he goes, is it okay if we take a ride over there? And I'm like, you want to drive to Sabu's hotel room? Sure. I'm like, yeah, let's go to Sabu's hotel room. So we go to the Marriott in Flushing and he goes upstairs and out he comes. I'm sitting in the car. I'm like, all right. I'm like, we're running late. He comes to the car like a kid. He rolls the window down. He goes, hey, can we take Sabu out to eat with us? Yeah. And I'm like, sure, throw Sabu in the car. Why not? So it's me, Bill Alfonso, and Sabu driving into the city for lunch to meet my brother on 34th Street so we could be close to the Hammerstein. Yeah. So we go in. I kid you not, the whole way he's running everybody down. He's a crotchety guy. I like him, but he's crotchety. He calls people names. He calls me whatever. Yeah, like so we get there. He tells us every story, anything. He gave us hours of stories, like just like, hey, can you tell us about working in Japan? Can you tell us about your uncle, the Sheik, and literally everything. Yeah. Then he's so grumpy, and then he's like out of it. He was drinking a bit. He's out of it, and Fonzie's like, hey, I got to go to Hammerstein. He's like, somebody's got to take Sabu back to his hotel room. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I got to go back to Flushing to take him. And my brother takes Fonzie to GCW to go in with him to do warm-ups and whatever. And I got to drag Sabu back to his hotel. We didn't say two words to each other the entire drive home back to the hotel. We get back to the hotel and I was like, hey, it would be all right if I used your bathroom, because I was like really pissed off at this point that the day we didn't talk. Yeah. So I left. I went and didn't flush and I left. Oh my God. But he, you know what? Then he remembered me. We saw him at a Creative Pro show and he remembered, us, our lunch and everything. I didn't think he would, it was years later, but I was like, this can't be real. I'm like, I can't believe I'm hanging out with Bill Alfonso and Sabu, And then the last time we saw Fonzie was this summer at SummerSlam. He slept in our hotel room. He needed a place to crash. And I'm like, we left him there. We're like, you could have the hotel room when we leave. We're going to leave early in the morning to go home. You can stay here, shower and whatever. And, he stayed there. So that's like the one interaction that I think is still the coolest.
Wow. That's like a weekend with Sabu. That's crazy.
It was, yeah. And then he kept going. I can't see. I kept telling Brett Lauderdale, he needs to leave the lights on so I don't trip over my turban, as my thing as I go, so I don't fall. So, Yeah.
Had you ever crossed paths with MJF or seen him while he was doing Long Island stuff?
He so we met him in Cleveland a bunch before he signed with AEW. Yeah. And he's funny because he does not break. He'll never break. Like he sits at the bar and he just curses everybody out. And like he's mean all night. And Sam and I are sitting at this bar in Cleveland and it was like 2 a.m. and we're like with him and we're trying to break him. We're like, Max, 2 Jews from Long Island. We're talking with you. Like, let's talk. We're from Great Neck. Let's talk. And at one point he breaks for a second and he goes, from Great Neck, huh? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, a lot of Iranians in Great Neck. We're like, yeah. You have to come over here and talk to us. So we started talking. We finally got him to break for 20 minutes so we could be human.
Nice.
But yeah, and one of my good friends, his daughter's at my house. He was Max's choir teacher at Plainview. So I have all the video, so he shows me all the videos. And when Max did his bar mitzvah thing on AEW, we were at that show. And that was his choir. They brought in from Plainview. Yeah.
That was the most enjoyable skits I've ever. Yeah, that
Fantastic.
was a great segment. Yep.
Yeah, it's funny how we got into it over here, and there's so many different connections to like the wrestling world that I managed to figure out just like hanging out and like being in this area. It's weird.
Yeah. Now, so okay, then I want to get into. We have Mania now, so let me see if we can do this. I don't know if you want to say this as like recap these things as a well, where'd it go? I have to add the source. We can, let me just get this sort, invite the source here. So we can, preview these matches as fans, preview them as podcast hosts, however we want to do it.
I just give my opinion. It doesn't, I don't think the hosts matter. Yeah. Whatever happens, happens.
Yep. So we'll just go through these. I know there's like little things still popping up to be formulated. I mean, Mania was in LA like 2 years ago. I didn't go. It's in Vegas this year. I realized I could go, but it's such an undertaking to try to get to a Mania because you don't know how much it is, or even like doing like a peripheral show or going to like the side events.
Yeah.
Still, it hasn't been like urgent, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be watching it on Peacock.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Because we have like New Day versus Viking Raiders may be a thing.
Well, I've seen the list come out recently, the match list, and it does look like that's a thing, but it looks like it's going to be at the expense of the Motor City Machine Guns and
maybe the Street Profits. They might go SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we'll keep this shared. So like, however this is cut later, maybe they'll have the visual. They didn't even do the graphic yet. There is a graphic for Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Feels like just two, top level guys that didn't really have anywhere to be placed. So now they're going to kick each other's ass.
Yeah. I will tell you, this year's doesn't feel as, a lot of the matches don't feel anywhere near as big and like polished as I would like them to be.
Right.
Like, I also think 2 days, and I've said it since 2 days of WrestleMania is terrible. Just do one and give me big ones. I get it. You want to get everybody on, you want to make money.
Right.
Not everybody deserves to be on WrestleMania. I mean,
right.
It's just doesn't always have to be like that, but I get it. I get the money grab part. I just don't agree with it. So, but yeah, this is one of those matches. It's just, hey, these guys are feuding and they're two big dudes and they're going to beat each other up and wonderful. I just don't know where either one goes after it.
I mean, McIntyre could do anything. I feel like he's just a great troll.
He's great, but tell me what you're going to do with him. Where is he going to go? I don't want to see him just floating around and trolling.
True.
Yeah.
True. So then let's see. Let's go next. Oh, this one we got Jade Cargill and Naomi. Now this is very significant because it's a non-title match and it's a women's match, which is rare.
But I love this. I am really hoping that Jade has. I'm seeing she's gotten a little better. I want to see her better in the ring. Her presentation's fantastic. Yeah. And Naomi is awesome. Yeah. So I just please, I want it to be good. This one I want to be good. I like this. I like how this has turned out, and
And I feel like down the road it's going to be Jade versus Bianca is where we have to go probably next year. But that's
but I mean the way they pulled this off with the car and all this stuff, like that's exactly how I thought it was going to go down, and it was perfect. Like, oh, Jade's out. Oh, Naomi's just magically going to get the other tag title and blah blah blah. I love it. Perfect.
Yep. They know what they're doing. You like post Vince WWE?
Very much.
Okay.
It's just paced so much better. It just
They don't forget about things.
Right. And also you don't feel like the day of the show everything is ruined. Like you're like, oh, I can't wait for this, and then nothing happens, or they never forgave him for 2 years ago. Was it 2 years or 3 years ago? The Monday Night Raw I think it was after Tampa. And it was like the worst Raw ever, they said. And that was Vince's, when Vince came back and they gave him the helm and he just destroyed 3 hours of Raw. And I remember watching it going, I can't believe this is what happened. Like I was so disappointed. But yeah,
I'd want a documentary on that. That'd be
a because they said after that, the board called them and was like, you're not allowed to be part of creative anymore. Like that was even the people who the sponsors were like, this is terrible.
That's what happens when you go public and you merge. So, and then the WrestleMania 9 doc came out this week. So that's one.
I haven't watched it yet.
I watched it. It's intriguing. Yeah.
It's something to catch up on.
Yeah. Now this one kind of just, I guess, because Rey Mysterio is the highest profile lucha you can have, and he's got Grande Americano. Yeah, El
I
Grande
love it,
Americano.
grande. But
El
my
Grande
problem is
Americano.
people say there were people like, because Twitter is full of dummies, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, that's not even how you say it." I'm like, "It's like the coffee, you idiots!" Like, why is it? It's not supposed to be
We're not
grande.
fact
Like,
checking.
right?
Yeah.
He's dumb. That's the whole point. He's
Right.
from the Gulf of America. He's a coffee. He's a grande Americano. It's a cup of coffee. Like, what are we doing? But yeah, I don't mind this because Chad Gable deserves to be on WrestleMania. He definitely deserves it.
And either he gets revealed or they just squash Ray.
Yeah.
Either way, or both.
Well, Rey Mysterio is 51 years old, right? So like
crazy.
I'm starting to see because I see it on myself as I'm getting older.
Right.
Is like the 51-year-old body is starting to come up from old Ray. Like I'm starting to see it. Like he's not as he's not as like jacked up, and like he's still athletic as hell, but I'm starting to see that like the barrel's coming out.
It's kind of why probably why they're getting like Penta and Ray Phoenix in there. They want something
Those
to
guys
catch.
are awesome. Those guys are awesome. I hope they have long careers in WWE because they're awesome.
Yeah. Now LA Knight is my guy, but I feel like he's gonna get squashed.
He's gonna lose. Yes, Jacob is the future. This boy, oh boy, he is. What a force! You can't take your eyes off him. He's nuts.
I do think I could see LA Knight in the Money in the Bank, and then I could potentially see him like follow the Damian Priest path.
The problem is that's another one where when you're on SmackDown, as long as look at the top of the card, as long as those three guys are on the top, there's no place to go. Mm-hmm. So like if you take the belt off LA Knight, I don't know, Jacob loses, I don't know either. Like there's no place to go on SmackDown. Raw, at least you have Gunther he's not unbeatable, but he's it's always understandable. Yeah, he's going to always have a belt, but someone can take it, and you'll have. And then once somebody takes it, it opens up a whole new avenue. But on SmackDown, there's no place to go. It's like just so crowded. But Jacob's going to win.
Yeah, and it's like the LA Knight trajectory. Like 2 years ago, he wasn't on Mania, even though it was in LA, but he got good pops at the SmackDown before. Mm-hmm. And then last year he had AJ Styles, which was a good match, but I feel like this is still a step up. He's the champ, and he's against a rising star. So who's already
the problem with LA Knight is he's been around for a very long time, and like he's not on the climb of his career. He's kind of like he's going that way, but not in a bad way. It's just how it happens. I mean, you start older, you get on WWE when you're older, it's harder. Mm-hmm. But Jacob is the future. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. Yeah. So I see him winning, and he's just going to be nuts with that title.
I hope so. What are they giving us next? Next, they're giving us there's Penta. This will be a fun one. This will be fun.
I don't think it's time to take the belt off Braun, so I think they're going to have Dom eat the pin and then and Finn turns on Dom.
Or that makes sense.
Yeah, because I think you're going to see Ray and Penta team up eventually, and then win the tag belts somewhere, and just run.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I don't know. They love Braun. I love him. Can we just call him Steiner? I just want to call him Steiner so badly. Just call him Steiner. Who's he hurting?
It was nice that they were able in NXT to like kidnap his father for a skit. What was that? There was one time they kidnapped Rick Steiner, and was it Joe Gacy maybe did that?
Yes, it was Joe Gacy. Yes. The problem with Rick Steiner is he opens his stupid mouth and it gets in trouble. So Rick, just shut the hell up and go with it. Let your son succeed.
Yeah, but he's like he could be a main eventer in a year.
There's three on our show on NXT Night Shift. We talk about two guys who could be in the year, and one is Obafemi, and the other one is Braun. Those guys could be. I would love that that would be in 2 years. A main event of those two would be incredible because it's going to happen eventually.
Wow.
Yeah,
I see it. Okay, good. And then we'll see we'll see if Finn may never get that world championship again, but I guess he had that one time in the beginning.
He was the original Universal Champion. I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay. Now this one, it feels like thrown together, but maybe it was like, who do you want to work with? One of those like, who do you want to work with? And this is the match they came up with.
If it was AJ 10 years ago, this match would be the main event and be like, it would make headlines like that X Division match between Joe Daniels and AJ back in the day on TNA. Like, but this AJ is a little bit slower.
Yeah.
But this is a good pairing. You want to just showcase like craziness, like go right, like Logan Paul can do everything.
Would they let Logan win this one? He's
gonna win. Oh yeah, yeah.
You think he's gonna win? Okay.
I don't know if the amount of eyes that he brings to the product.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see what the point is of him losing this matches. What does AJ Styles gain by beating him? Nothing.
That he can beat a part-timer. You want to beat a part.
Yeah.
We could see. Okay, let's see the next one we got here. Oh yeah. Did you like that promo last week when
I did?
That was good. That was just cold.
I love, yes. What are we doing? Like what's wrong with it? What are we doing? When did everybody become so soft? Like, I can't believe who cares? We're adults. They're getting paid. Let them both. Oh my God, she got her feelings hurt in a promo.
That was a great line. 0-3 in life. Oh my God.
Listen, when you bring and I don't understand why it becomes this way, but you and I have probably watched enough of the WWE's documentaries where you saw Vince in the 90s and all those guys go, when you bring a little bit of realism into it, people, there's so much. Yes. So you brought some realism into it. Who cares? Do it. It's great. I hope the match is as good as the promos.
Yeah. And hopefully, I feel like Charlotte gets more comfortable. Obviously, she's phenomenal. She's like the most athletic wrestler in the company for pretty much. But, I just want to see her, thrive.
I don't know who that is in the picture though, because the Charlotte that I see right now looks like a totally different person. But
that's true.
I love Tiffany Stratton. I love her. From the beginning, I was like, this girl's got some, like that moonsault's unreal, and she does those the handspring elbows better than most of the men. So
yeah, and like 2014, after Beckett did the viral thing with the themes, we got down to an NXT in Florida, and she did recognize Beckett when he was like 2, obviously from the video, but at the end, like before they had to like break down the ring, I did get to like pull her aside for like a second, be like, I'm very excited for what you're going to accomplish in the future. So like, I knew like 10 years ago, like this is going to be amazing. So I hope I hope she's the one that breaks Ric Flair's record, not John Cena. Like she's really the one that would do that.
It's amazing. The undeniableness of the DNA of Ric Flair into Charlotte. Like it's amazing that she was able to pick up what needed to be done. But then you look at some of these younger guys and you go, how the hell did Rikishi pump out like 3 guys or 3 kids already who understand the business better than,
he did
90% of the guys? Like it was. And what interview did you ever hear that Rikishi, you're like, yeah, he gets it? No, Rikishi just goes off and does what he's doing. Like his boys they're all A1 talents. So the genes are strong. Randy Orton, but Charlotte honestly just gets it. And it is what it is.
Yeah. I think hard to say actually who would come out on top with this one. Cause I'm not sure. Cause probably to Triple H, Charlotte's like one of his, he helped. But Stratton is like one of HBK's.
Well, she's Dusty's, one of Dusty's kids. But so Stratton, so HBK on our show also, I talk about HBK now has his 4 horsewomen, his own. Right. He has Julia, he has Zarya, he has oh my God, my brain malfunctioned.
Right.
Julia, Zarya, Stephanie Vacker, and he has one more, and and Jordan Grace, and they're just not so. I get it. This is one of Sean's, but she's also she's in the NIL program or whatever it is, so she came over. So I think this was more of like a group hire for them, but Sean's 4 horsewomen, I would put up against Triple H's 4 horsewomen. And I think they would whoop their ass. Like Stephanie Vacker and Julia and Jordan Grace over Bayley, over Becky Lynch, over Charlotte. Like I just see it over Sasha. I don't think Mercedes Moné is any good, but in the ring, I just don't. Right. Stephanie Vacker got her contract in WWE off of the match she had with Mercedes.
Wow.
And it was all her. Like I was there. She carried that match. It was nuts.
Wow.
But this match is going to be good just for the visuals and everything else. And I think, the fans will be rabid for it because they like the realism.
Definitely. I think it's this other women's match next. Nope. This is the Gunther and Jey Uso. And
it's coming from a bias. Gunther's my favorite wrestler. So it's coming from like, I I need him to win. I don't think he's going to, but he's him and Samoa Joe are my two favorites by far.
What makes him, just because he's like a traditionalist?
Everything. I mean, I've been watching him since, he was one of the guys who really took advantage of when Flow Slam, which was like a streaming service, became indie wrestling television.
Okay.
He was one of the guys at Joey Janela Spring Break. He was always doing stuff on the indies and in Evolve Wrestling, and he was a beast, big Gunther. And then when he went to the UK, the chops, and like this guy should never lose. He is such an imposing. When was the last time we had a guy that you're like, he can wrestle, he understands the mic, he like got himself in shape, he's a monster. Like this guy should never lose. The way they booked him for the Intercontinental title should be always how he's booked. Always.
Right.
I just love him. Jey Uso's great, but I love Gunther. I love him.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's all looking like Jay's time, but it depends. I mean, it might start out the card on a Saturday. I think it's going to go.
No, they released the order. Hold on. The order for night one.
They already know the order?
Yeah. They put this out. So, and it makes sense. Night one is going to be War Raiders New Day, followed by Jade and Naomi, followed by Knight and Fatu, followed by Stratton and Charlotte, Mysterio and Grande Americano, Uso and Gunther are the co-main event, and Rollins, Reigns, and Punk is the
second to last. Okay. Yeah. I see that.
Which is fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. And then we got the next one. Now, is this going to be the other one? Yeah, this one, probably the toughest build. It just seemed like it. I felt like Rhea and Bianca were due to have their final, like they've been the rising stars of the last 4 or 5 years, and they needed their one-on-one.
You're 100% right. I didn't get when she took the belt off of Rhea. I didn't understand it. I was like, what am I watching? Why?
I haven't known with this feud, I haven't really been sure what to, and they're just like shoving her aside like she's like lesser than
I hate that. By the way, I hate that. Everyone's like, oh, it's so funny. I'm like, why? Why are you diminishing the person who the champ is? Like, she's the champ. It's not them.
And it seems now like Bianca's like the heel. And it's very interesting too.
And you know what? Easy on the eyes, and everybody looks good, and they can all wrestle. And so I don't know who's going to win it. I think probably Rhea again. They love Rhea, but
I feel like Rhea can win it whenever she wants.
Actually, both of these two could be. You could put them on either show, and they could be your women's champion. You'd be like, yeah, they carry it, sure. Yep. Like that's my problem with this match. I have no idea. I don't even know how much thought was put into what happens to the other two afterwards. But yeah.
Yep. Okay, well, we'll see. Hopefully it'll be strong the final week here.
Mm-hmm.
The main event of night one. So many layers.
I love it. I love Punk. So always love Punk. And I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I just don't understand what happened here. Like how did all three of these guys not have marquee major matches at WrestleMania? Now they're all together. I don't know.
I liked AEW Punk a lot in the beginning, because he was still fighting against something. Like when he comes back here, yes, he's over, but like, what is he fighting against? He's fighting for main event of Mania. Now he has that. He's fighting
he's just a guy who's come home. Now he's
like, I guess so. He's just the guy that's come home, and he has feuds. He has issues. He's going to speak up about them.
Yeah. So, and Rollins, I don't know when Rollins ever gets the main belt back. I don't know. I don't know but
Reigns has never beaten him. That's the other thing too.
Well, that's the problem with this match. Like, who is supposed to eat the pin?
Who do you think is going to win?
I don't know. Honestly,
I think Rollins is going to win.
Well, here's where I'm thinking. I'm thinking Punk wins because there's going to be some kind of haywire, like with Heyman.
Okay.
And either he runs like a,
triple
he
crosses.
runs like, and he goes home with Rollins. The two of them go.
Yep.
I mean, I could see just all sorts of guys with their hands on their head at the end of the match, super fans in the front row pulling their nonsense. Nice. I don't know, but I could sense, I see a triple cross. I see double crosses. I see other guys coming out. Like, I don't know. And I don't know who really needs it. Right. I don't know if any of them need it. It doesn't seem really important either way, but it's a good match to go for night one.
Yep, definitely. So that night one, and then that leaves us with night two.
Yep.
This one, greatest heel turn in 25 years. The last great heel turn. Will he be the last great champion? Is the question.
You know what? There wouldn't be anything better if he took it and he's just like, that's, again.
I just don't see him holding on to it though. Like, how would he retire with it? He'd have to hold it for another 9 or 10 months.
Yeah, my other problem is when Cody does finally lose, when he does, where does Cody go? Like, because Roman can always jump back in.
Right.
Where does Cody go? Where does he go? I don't know.
I could see Cody as a great heel if they wanted to do that.
Make him do a complete
smug.
Homelander. Yeah.
Like he comes out in a suit, like he comes out all like dressed like he's the Miz, and even though he's himself, but it just seems like he has the ingredients to be a heel. It's just he's so over as like this white meat, Captain
Wouldn't
America.
a heel John Cena title run be awesome though for like until SummerSlam? That would be amazing. Yeah, just motherfucking all the kids and everything. He just like doesn't care.
Now obviously his turn was amazing. Did you like his promos since the turn?
Yeah, I have no problem. I am one of the. I know how he's like, you don't get anything new or whatever. I just wanted to hear him come out to like Bad Man with that song he did with Bumpy Knuckles.
Oh,
where he did the A-Team video.
All right.
And I'd like to see that, or I'd like to see him wearing something other than jean shorts.
Right.
Like, because now you're 40, he's my age, and if I wore jean shorts right now, we would all be like, dude, come on. Like,
that is like, would someone saying those things be wearing that outfit?
Right. Like, does he comes out in his hat, he's still wearing the colors, he's got
the towel.
The different stuff from every location. He's still
still doing all the merch.
Yeah, and you know what they say, and this is from guys who I talked to a lot. Heels are not supposed to sell merch. Heels are. I know that Vince doesn't believe that, and but in the old days, in the old days they would say like, oh, if you're a heel, you shouldn't have shirts. You shouldn't and if you could tell me back in the day when you owned any heel merchandise, there was hardly any.
Yeah, but like DX and NWO was like some of the.
They weren't heels though. They weren't heels.
Right.
They were the cool. That's where the line's grade. I'm talking about like in the 80s. Did anybody wear like a King Kong Bundy T-shirt, or did anybody find an Akeem the African Dream T-shirt? Nope. Well, I don't even know if we could wear those still, but nobody had.
Did Andre didn't have any much merch?
I mean, he had the one with the hand, right?
Yeah,
that was it. Vince sold figures, but he didn't have there wasn't like a T-shirt or like a flag made for Bobby Heenan, or Ming, it just wasn't it.
Right. Well, hopefully it's a good match. I mean, I feel like I could see Rhodes and Reigns again at double turn a year from now.
The Rock has to come out in this.
That's right. He
has to. I don't want to see Travis Scott, by the way, anywhere again.
Oh God. Yes.
I don't want to see anybody who hits somebody for real. Guys, it's not real. We're play fighting.
He might. Yeah.
You'll
get rid of that share. So that's all. Those are all the Mania matches. We broke it down.
Yeah.
Are there any other things you're looking forward to from?
Well, yeah, if we're gonna do War Raiders and New Day, I'd like to see the New Day win it, or Big E comes down and costs them, because they had the hottest heel turn. Everybody hated them, and now it's fizzled. Yeah, but now it's fizzled to nothing because I don't think they capitalized on it. So that's a problem in that one. And then the other problem is tonight, because you and I are talking on a Friday in case anybody's listening. The women's
match to take on.
I hate it, and there couldn't be any more like mediocre. Like you have nothing. How did Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson not get in there? The Metaphor can't get in there. You're putting in people who aren't even a team. Bailey and they just fought. Why are they
might be a match
team now? Like
their rematch might be.
Right. There's the other thing we didn't talk about, and it's not there. We didn't talk about the women's win. See, Chelsea has no match, and Lyra has no match. How do you not have? Lyra is the first annual, and these are your inaugural champions, and they're not defending the belts at WrestleMania.
I don't know.
What are we
doing?
Maybe
they'll be. Probably. It's like the pre-show is now like the SmackDown before. That's pretty much how it is.
Yeah, that's next Friday, right?
Like early May. It's like 0 hour of Mania. Is
they came out with an announcement today. I don't know. I know you're busy. And I'm always like looking around for wrestling stuff. But they said the 2 nights are supposed to be 9 hours apiece. So with the pre-show and the post-show, so the pre-show is 3 hours.
Okay.
So you're supposed to get 9 total hours of coverage each night.
Well,
and
what was it last year?
And NXT starts what?
What was it last year? How long? Do you remember how long the Manias were? I think it was like 3 or 4 hours each.
Well, but we're talking about their pre-show started in the middle of the day.
It's like the event itself, though.
Yeah, about 4 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're gonna do NXT at noon on Saturday. So it has to end by 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and then you have 3 hours of pre-show until
drive.
7.
Then you got to drive over from wherever that is to the stadium.
Yeah, it's where
probably like T-Mobile or something, or
yeah, it's wherever the Vegas Knights play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where it is.
To the Legion Stadium, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. I love WrestleMania week. I can't wait. I'm gonna be away next week, but normally I buy the Triller package to watch all the GCW stuff and the and the indie wrestling stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, I love it. I think those guys, they put on some fun shows. There's wrestling on literally from 3:00 in the afternoon until, from Tuesday afternoon all the way until Sunday. So
yeah,
actually Monday, because we get Monday after Raw. I hope the Monday after Mania is good this year.
Because we've had so many surprises over the last several months. Like
you're gonna get Aleister Black, right?
That'd be cool. Bruce, would you get Rusev?
Yes. So either one of them, by the way, could be Randy Orton's opponent at WrestleMania.
Oh, that'd be cool. That would be cool.
Somebody just I'm gonna text.
They're like, there's like a thing about Sheamus. There's a thing about
Aldis. Maybe Nick Aldis will be the guy. Yeah, you can fill him in. It makes sense.
Sure.
Sure.
I think that would be cool. I mean, the thing is, like, would you then have Randy would have to like do the job for someone, or really it's kind of like we're giving Randy his flowers currently in his career. So
you know what? I forgot about that, but I would have known.
We'll bring Riddle back. That'll be his.
Oh God. That guy, he has done it. He's done himself in.
Riddle or Ryback, one of those guys. They'll come back and
Ryback, yes. Yes. I think just for the internet laughs, that's why Ryback should come back. Because the internet would explode if that dude came out at WrestleMania.
Great. Yeah.
Well,
is Sami Zayn's not doing anything? No.
No. There's another one. What is he doing? He's gone. Didn't he? He was out. They had like an injury angle. I don't know what he's doing.
Man,
I don't know. There's a lot of things that are not. You have all these questions, and that's why I said to you in the beginning. I feel like it's not. It doesn't have the same luster.
I mean, it's good to have some questions going in. You don't want every piece set. Yeah.
Don't spell it out for me. I get it. Yeah.
Nice. All right, this is a quality preview. This is good. And you're gonna see a good movie tonight. So give me one more time.
Yep.
I'll put the links in the notes. But like, what's the 2 podcasts again that you do?
So on Twitter, I'm jgold12, and then on Thursdays, the Indie Wrestling Guide podcast, IW Guide podcast drops every Thursday, and then on Tuesday nights at 10:15 is NXT Night Shift, and it's same format as like you and I right now, but we have an open forum and open comments, and it just last week got really fun. We have a caller named Stan from Burlington, and he calls in and gives us a lot of trouble every week. And if you listen to the Indie Wrestling Guide podcast, we have a 2-hour Stan holiday episode that we did with all of his calls from when we were on Indie Wrestling Guide. So if anybody ever wants to go back and look for Stan from Burlington, we have merch for him, everything.
There's
so
Stan and Burlington merch.
Stan from Burlington merch. Yes, it's a barbed wire chain with the name Stan in the middle, because Stan apparently when he thinks he's naughty, he pulls on his barbed wire chain around his thigh, and it tells him to stop thinking naughty thoughts. So
yes, that's right.
It's like in Dante in whatever that was, not Dante's Inferno, the other one with the guy, the Opus Dei monk and stuff. So we get there's some humor in there. I think you'd like it for real. It's good stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Good. We're gonna get this out then soon. It's Mania countdown, and enjoy the photos of you and the daughter. Hopefully one day will she get in the ring one day? You think?
Yeah, she wants to. And I will absolutely push it.
So just go to Creative Pro, tuck her chin, and everything will take care of itself.
Don't hit your head. That's it.
All right, cool. Good deal. Then I will end it here, and this is